visual aid, and I don't know where to set it right. Good morning. I was a bit nervous, well, I'm still nervous, doing the meditation this week on a topic like veganism. My lifestyle has been more hedonism than veganism, I will admit. But I didn't wear my leather pants today, so I'm trying to be respectful. Last week I was listening to the audiobook, Hungry, Beautiful Animals. You may have heard of it. While riding my bike through the woods. It was golden hour, and the forest was radiant with beauty. There I was, appreciating the nature around me and admiring a nearby fawn, while listening to a book about going vegan. Though I'm not actually vegan, I was feeling pretty dang good about myself at that moment. Look at all these healthy behaviors. Look at me being open to learning more about a plant-based diet. My thoughts drifted to what it would be like to make such a drastic lifestyle change. How challenging it must be to eat and live with such intention. At that moment, just as I was thinking perhaps it wouldn't be as difficult as I thought, a bug flew down my throat. Damn it, I thought. I haven't even started going vegan and I've already failed. My thoughts spiraled. What are the implications of accidental insect consumption? Would a vegan have to induce vomiting in an attempt to save one precious bug life? Would I need to eat an extra celery stick at dinner to balance the karmic scale? Man, this vegan lifestyle really is hard. I am not, and I never have been a vegan, but I should be. I was raised in a vegetarian household with an emphasis on healthy living. My dad used to discourage even the consumption of milk by referring to it as cow secretions or bovine body fluid. Right as I'd fill up a glass. Enjoy. Yeah. Whether due to the admirable amount of free will given to me by my parents, or perhaps their inability to control what I did, I began eating meat as soon as I attended school, wondering why I had been deprived of such deliciousness. Although my family's dietary decisions were mainly health-related, they were also encouraged and influenced by the Seventh-day Adventist church we attended. While other kids were learning about Noah's Ark in Sunday school, in Sabbath school, I was taught about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who ate nothing but vegetables and water for 10 days and became healthier than those who ate King Nebuchadnezzar's food. A riveting story for children. This religious and familial emphasis on a healthy diet added a moral component that remains somewhere deep within me to this day. And yet, I'm not a vegan. I care deeply about animals. I'm fascinated and enthralled by them. They're adorable and awe-inspiring. I stop to help turtles cross the road. I catch and release insects found in my house, but only those I deem worthy. Centipedes, I'm afraid, are out of luck due to the high level of heebie-jeebies they induce. I find it much easier to hate humans than animals, but I wouldn't dream of eating a human. And yet, I'm not a vegan. I have a lot of respect for vegans, and I agree with literally every reason one should follow this lifestyle. It seems like the right thing to do, and yet, I'm not a vegan. There's a death metal band I have no doubt many of you are familiar with called Cattle Decapitation. If you find that name upsetting or at least distasteful, it's because you're supposed to. This band, formed by vegans, uses violent imagery to portray humans in the various roles in which we place animals. Allow me to show you some of their album covers. Now, if you're squeamish, these are a bit disturbing, so trigger warning, you don't have to look. The first one, called The Harvest Floor, has humans being led into a slaughterhouse. They get worse. The second one, called To Serve Man, has a human who's been flayed, and there's clearly humans hanging in the background like in a meat cooler. And the last one, called Humanure, has a cow defecating human remains. That's a lot. As you can see, they put humans in the place of animals in an attempt to disturb us and hopefully spark change. The things happening in these images are happening right now to animals by humans. We should be disturbed by them. For whatever reason, I find myself relating to this band more than others in the genre. Their lyrics are filled with anger towards humanity and the real-life atrocities that we commit without thinking. Their approach is a bit heavy-handed, I'll admit, but is effective and compelling. As you can tell from my cattle decapitation t-shirt and the fact that I own these albums, I'm a fan. And yet, I'm not a vegan. My conscience, a desire to be healthy, and an occasional genuine craving help me eat lots of fruits and vegetables. On the other hand, my calorie tracking app tells me to eat more protein. My bank account and busy life tell me to eat affordable, convenient fast food. And my taste buds tell me to eat more bacon. As much as I like to eat animal products, I don't want to be reminded of what they are. I want my meat to be free of bones and tendons. I would surely be vegan if I had to kill the animals myself and process their meat. I would likely be vegan if I saw with clarity the realities of factory farming at its worst. But I'm just insulated enough from these horrors to keep the cognitive dissonance at a manageable level. Don't even get me started on leather goods. I have a half page. I'm going to skip it. The stereotypes associated with vegans are so ingrained in our culture that I share many of these beliefs. And it wasn't until drafting this meditation that I realized my personal experience does not align with these stereotypes at all. I have close friendships with vegans going back decades. I can't think of a single time any of them have commented on my food choices, shamed me for wearing leather, or given any hint of smug moral superiority. So why is the obnoxious vegan stereotype still the first thing that comes to my mind? Perhaps it's a defense mechanism spawned from shame or guilt about my own choices. More self-reflection is needed in this area. Despite everything I've shared, it's still hard for me to imagine going vegan. My ideas are often in conflict with the reality of my ideals are often in conflict with the reality of my actions. My reasons or excuses, which are many, are not for not going vegan, are too many to begin listing here. But there's a quote I love. There is a principle which is bar against all information, which is proof against all arguments, and which cannot fail to keep a man in everlasting ignorance. That principle is contempt prior to investigation. This quote has often been a reminder for me to remain open-minded. As long as I can remember, I've valued open-mindedness, even occasionally holding contempt for those I deemed close-minded, which isn't very open-minded of me. My personal open-minded ideals align well with C3's value of open inquiry, and it's refreshing to be among a community of similarly open individuals. If I'm being honest, it's unlikely I will leave today with a newfound commitment to going vegan. However, I will approach this topic in the same way I strive to approach everything in life, with an open mind and an open heart. Thank you.